Now, Perry, you've spoken about the unsettling incidences you experienced, particularly in the latter part of your career.
Right.
And now you've been a retired teacher for a number of years. If, as you look at education now, from the time that you retired to the present, what concerns do you have now about education as you look at it?
Right. Well, I have two concerns. One is a retired teacher, because I'm always interested in education. But the second is just as a Canadian citizen.
Mhm.
I'm concerned from both those perspectives. So one thing I'm deeply concerned about is the erosion of parental rights.
Definitely.
Yeah, that one always disturbed me. I feel that parents have a right to a say in the content of the curriculum. Because if they don't have a say, what if the state is teaching some absurd and bizarre theories, and they don't want their kids to be educated in that manner? Shouldn't they have a say in that? Well,
Yes.
they don't have an opt-out formula. They don't.
That's interesting.
Well, not in BC that I'm aware of. If there is one, someone can enlighten me. But when I first started talking about calling the BCTF about these kinds of policies, they said, no, we don't really have an opt-out formula for this. Most parents, I don't think they take the trouble, unless they're really, really convicted, to make use of an opt-out formula.
Yeah, for sure.
But the content that was coming in disturbed me a great deal. I thought that parents should have a right to be able to speak about that or express their concerns about that. And one example of this is SOGI, right, which is now infamous, sexual orientation and gender identity.
Mhm.
BCTF defines it as a toolbox. It's not a subject in school, but it's a toolbox. So the danger in that, from my point of view, is if it's a toolbox, you can use it wherever you want to.
So it's a little more insidious then.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. So you can spend whole chunks of time on it, as long as you meet the minimum requirements for the content in your course and so on and so forth. So I saw that as being kind of dangerous, right? And as we all know, with the BC election, SOGI played a part in politics, finally has played a part in politics. So it's an issue that parents care about, and that educators, I think, secretly care about.
Mhm.
I think parents should be in the loop regarding their children's decisions at school. I think that's criminal that they're not in the loop about that. And it's a special reason that I feel that way is because, if a student goes to the counselor and says that they want to change genders, that can be hidden from the parent. I think that is not correct, and that is actually no other word that I can use, just a criminal negligence on the part of the school system, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So we're a long, long way from PTAs, Parent-Teacher Association meetings, and
Yeah.
a lot of people here can remember that mimeograph sheet you had to take home as a kid and
Yeah.
so you could go to the PTA meeting. Even that idea, Parent-Teacher Association, I don't think that's something that's common so much anymore.
Mhm.
Another concern was the unapologetic politicization of the K-12 curriculum. So from the time that they're in primary school to the time that they leave grade 12, there's a political message that's given to them. It's a politically correct, woke political message, right? And I don't think that should be part of education. If we have a balanced educational system, critical thinking and Plato's definition of education should come to the fore, and politicization should be kept out. That is, as I said before, that's how governments use the schools, right? There's a danger in that. So I was just looking up on the BCTF website, and I noticed that there's a course called Genocide 12.
Wow. I wonder where that goes.
Yeah, I wonder where that goes. Well, we all know where that's probably going to go. So as far as I'm concerned, that is unacceptable. I mean, if you can deal with genocide in a social studies 11 course, say something like that, right? But as this particular course that I'm worried about them giving bias to the kids, I don't think that's an acceptable thing. And then also the politicization over minority historical figures concerns me. Like that's out in the society as well too. Johnny McDonald is taken off of the $10 bill as a singular figure. He's put back on amongst a group of people, including the famous five. And then all of a sudden he's gone, just gone. And Viola Desmond is put on the $10 bill. Viola is a very brave woman, right? To buck the system at that time. Very admirable person, but historically, in terms of historical significance, she doesn't come close to John A. Macdonald, who,
Yes.
if anybody knows his life, knows that he actually advocated for Indigenous peoples and so on and so forth. So propaganda on top of propaganda on top of propaganda. Right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. So Perry,